Simonson here, your San Juan Island information source. So it's pretty obvious by now, boating is a big part of our lifestyle up here. And it's very fun and exciting, but it's also challenging. So I thought I'd make this video just to share with you some of the mishaps that can occur when you're boating. I want you to be prepared. So your boat soon becomes a war zone. It's us against the birds. We're talking seagulls, crows, kingfishers. I mean, Tim has bought so many of these darn bird begons that I'm amazed that they have not offered him the dealership for the island yet. And we've got them on all the surfaces of the boat, trying to keep the birds from visiting and pooping. I think we're winning. There's a lot less poop. So another part of boating is issues. And you can guarantee that your depth sounder or your electrical wiring is going to go out sometime when you're boating, and you got to be able to troubleshoot it. I mean, is it a fuse? Is it the wiring? Or is it just part of boating? Don't ask us. We can't even get our clock set. So you can have problems with your head. I don't know how it happens. It just does. But Tim seems to think that if I hit the solenoid thing down here with my spoon, that it's going to fix the head. And I frankly have a couple issues with this. Number one, I think this is a boy job. But Tim says his arms are too fat, so that means that I have to do it. And the other thing was this was my favorite kitchen spoon. Yuck. So when you buy a boat, you also get a disorder. It's the buying of fish equipment addiction. I mean, Tim's got it. All our friends have it. I mean, he goes into King's and he buys lures and flashers and all this crud that we don't need. And then he actually hides the bag in the back of the car so I don't see it. And then when we get home, he runs down and puts it in the box. I mean, it's a tragic thing, but everyone's got it. I think it's official. I think it's called the silver hoarder's disorder. So another phenomenon that I have discovered in boating is aluminum cans. All boaters use them. I mean, if somebody had asked me to drink out of an aluminum can a couple months ago, I would have said no way. But at this point, I get it. They're lightweight and they're easy to dispose of in the recycling bins. I mean, all these years, I always thought those big macho guys that were drinking Coolers Light were on a diet. Ha! I'm shocked. Cheers. So another thing that I have discovered is that you need to have agility on a boat this size. I mean, your knees and your hips both need to function well. I guess that kind of explains why older people than us have bigger boats. This boat must be for youngsters. What were Tim and I thinking? So these trim tabs are another thing. I mean, you got to figure it out. It's not intuitive. I mean, if everybody would just stay sat down, I'd be a lot happier. But you know, on my next boat, I'm going to come up with something better. I think that's going to work perfect for me. So these stock cushions that come with this boat, I'm sure they're of really high quality leather and are going to last a long time. But depending on how much padding you've got on your rear side, they can be a really tough sleep. In order for us to have a good night's sleep, Tim and I had to order a 4-inch memory foam. Now it's perfect. So no one can take the time and explain to you how to dock a boat in the wind. It's just impossible. Pretty much the more surface you have on the boat, the more kite your boat becomes. It can be very challenging, but follow the rules. Your first mate can't jump, no yelling, and no matter how hard you try to muscle it, you're not going to be able to bring in a 15,000-pound boat on a line. So pretty much do it over if you need to. Everything's insured. Right, Becky? So we encourage all our friends to have Nexus or I-68s. It makes the trip to Canada so much more enjoyable. I mean, I don't want to say we actually pick our friends by who has the proper instruments, but there is an A and a B list. So we just got back from a really fun trip, and I think I got that boat tied up adequately. I'm sure it's perfect. So we're at a boat launch. Need I say more? Pretty much these locations test relationships of all participants to the fullest level. I mean, the skill set needs to be on its A plan. Backing the boat down with the trailer, driving the boat up the trailer, all of this in the watchful eyes of the next participant waiting for you to hurry up. There's not a lot of time for do-overs. It's extremely character building. So this concludes my video about truth in boating. Reg B, good, bad, and the ugly. What can I say? So if you have any questions when your boat breaks, go ahead and Google it. If you have any questions about San Juan Island real estate, contact me, Mary Simonson, Co-Banker, San Juan Islands.